Hi everyone, Peter here from Flow High Performance, and in this video we will cover how calorie intake can be manipulated for the goal of fat loss. First and foremost, let's cover what exactly calories are. Calories are essentially a unit of energy. They are used to quantify how much energy each specific food contains. In some countries, the standard unit of energy for food is kilojoules. This is just a different unit to measure the same thing, which means it can be converted to and from calories. This is similar to something like measuring weight. We can use either kilograms, pounds, or stones to measure the weight of something, but they are all essentially measuring the same thing, just in different units. So if calories are a unit to quantify energy, what is energy and how is it relevant for fat loss? Well, energy is what we use as fuel for all bodily functions. We need energy to physically move, and we also need energy for essential bodily functions like breathing, digestion, brain function, and everything else our body subconsciously performs on a daily basis. Without energy, we cannot function and cannot survive. So simply put, we need energy to function, and we get this energy from food we eat. So the question now is, how much energy do we need each day, and how does this relate to fat loss? Basically, we expend a certain amount of energy each day, and our calorie intake may be higher, lower, or equal to this expenditure. The difference between calorie intake and calorie expenditure can be termed the calorie balance. When calorie intake is greater than calorie expenditure, this will result in weight gain over time. This is because there is an excess of energy available that isn't being used. As a result, the body will store this as tissue for later use, which will primarily be stored as body fat. This is likely a biological survival strategy to provide humans with readily available energy if food is not available. Of course, these days, food is much more readily available, so there is no real risk of starvation for most people. If trainees eat in a calorie surplus consistently over time, weight will continue to be gained, primarily in the form of body fat. When calorie intake is equal to calorie expenditure, this will result in a maintenance of body weight over time. This is because the energy we are intaking is the same amount as what is being used as fuel with no excess. This means there is no extra energy to be stored as tissue in the body and no need to use stored tissue for fuel. And lastly, when calorie intake is less than calorie expenditure, this will result in weight loss over time. This is because we are burning more fuel than what we are intaking. As a result, we need to use all the food we eat as energy, and we need additional fuel which will come from our stored tissue, which will primarily come from body fat. So for any significant fat loss to occur, trainees need to eat less calories than they expend. So this makes sense in theory. If we eat more than we expend, we gain weight, and if we eat less than we expend, we lose weight. However, how can we actually assess whether we are eating more or less calories than we expend? Well, the ultimate outcome that will result from long-term calorie balance is body weight. If a trainee thinks they are eating in a calorie deficit, but they aren't losing weight over time, then they aren't actually in a calorie deficit. This is the most direct indicator of calorie balance from a long-term perspective. There will always be fluctuations in weight from day to day and week to week, but over multiple weeks and months, the general trend in weight is the best way to assess what form of calorie balance you are in. So far we have discussed weight loss rather than fat loss. This is because calorie balance doesn't necessarily determine what tissue is being lost. All it tells us is how much tissue is being lost, but not what this tissue is. Naturally, most of the weight lost will be from body fat, assuming the trainee is exercising regularly. However, other tissues may also be lost to a small extent, like muscle mass. So basically we want to maximize how much of this weight loss comes from fat, and minimize how much comes from other tissues like muscle. Regardless, trainees still need to lose total weight for any significant fat loss to occur. So we know that we need to lose weight over time to see significant fat loss. However, how much of a calorie deficit should we be in, and how fast should weight loss be? The short answer is it doesn't really matter what the exact rate of weight loss is, rather it comes down to your individual context. Generally speaking, slower rates of weight loss usually result in a slightly greater retention of muscle mass compared with a faster rate of weight loss. However, this also makes the entire process slower and means you have less time to focus on gaining muscle mass. To make the decision on how fast you want to lose weight, there are a few factors which should be considered. The first is time constraints. Do you want to lose weight for a certain event, occasion, or competition? If so, the rate of weight loss will obviously need to be fast enough to lose weight in time for the set date. In such a case, rate of weight loss will probably need to be slightly faster. However, if a trainee doesn't have any particular time frame they want to lose weight by, then weight loss can occur at whatever rate suits them. If you don't mind how long it takes to lose weight, then you can take it slow and steady if desired. The second consideration is how much weight the trainee has to lose. Generally, if a trainee has more weight they want to lose, then overall weight loss may need to be taken slower. In some cases, weight loss can even be broken down into phases with periods of maintenance in between. This may make weight loss slightly more sustainable than losing weight all at once. However, if a trainee has less weight to lose, then they can probably get away with a faster rate of loss without experiencing many negative side effects. Another consideration for rate of weight loss is the trainee's daily schedule and individual lifestyle. For some trainees, they have an inconsistent and stressful daily schedule each day. This may make it very difficult to stick to a consistent plan and is likely to make weight loss a more difficult task. In this case, it is probably best to take a more conservative approach to weight loss to make it a more sustainable process. Other trainees may have a very relaxed and consistent schedule, which makes it easier to make better decisions about food intake and physical activity. In this case, the trainee may want to push for a slightly faster rate of weight loss if they can manage it. Ultimately, everyone has a different lifestyle, which may influence their individual rate of weight loss. And the last factor to consider is sustainability. When we lose weight at a faster rate, the process is generally less sustainable because you are more restricted in your social life and you are likely to experience greater hunger levels on a daily basis. When weight loss is slower, it is generally more sustainable because you can be more flexible with social life and hunger levels probably won't be as high. Furthermore, trainees can also adjust calorie intake during a weight loss phase if they find it is too unsustainable to maintain. So as a practical recommendation, the following rates of weight loss are recommended. First and foremost, there is no minimum rate of weight loss. Trainees can lose weight as slowly as they want to over time. However, weight loss probably shouldn't be more than around 1% of body weight per week on average. Therefore, trainees can self-select a rate of weight loss within this range based on the previously discussed factors. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you got something out of this video. Remember to subscribe if you haven't already.